Okay, we're going to try recording this. Okay, well, welcome you guys. This is we'll go as long as we need to go, but I mean basically a half an hour or so to go through our getting started manual that is working really well. But there was one piece missing. So I mean, the speed of the leader is the speed of the group. I'm not saying I'm your leader or you're your own leader. I'm just saying that I noticed using the forms today and this last week, I was a little frustrated because I couldn't record what it was that I was having for transactions and the information. So let me just shut my door here. 1 second here. I think my dog is in here hiding. Yes. And she'll try to get out again, guaranteed, but hang on. Okay, you stay there this time, Coda. You stay there this time, okay? You stay. Okay, so here's the key. The key to your planning session and what you've got to do to get yourself re-engaged in your Valentis business. First of all, put everything the last year, year and a half, 6 months, 2 months, whatever you've been here behind you. Let's start thinking 2018, closing out 2017, not from a standpoint of patting anybody's pockets, from a standpoint of you guys figuring out right now that this business is just beginning. Honestly, there's so many people. In fact, there was people that went to other companies that are coming back now because they realized the grass is not greener, right? So what you have to remember is the most success that you'll have in your business will come from you understanding the compensation plan, understanding that this business is not about ultimately anything to do with weight loss or any of the products we have in our core group. Those are connectors. Those are part of the bridge to get you to go from this point to their life and for them to get into your circle. You're trying to connect people up to your world right now. So your world is dreaming. Your world is, you've created a why. You really are in business right now to focus on more time, more money, better health. You already got that in your head now. You need to figure out what part of that is important to you. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to give them during a planning session a roadmap to follow to Emerald. And many of us made the mistake, and not that it was wrong, but I don't think we really knew. We had a program called Roadmap to Diamond, which is fine as you move through the business and you get to the point where you can handle more information. You'll be ready to handle a Roadmap to Diamond. And you know what? Here's the problem. You know, most of us are just starting off. We're new to business. We've never been through a personal development journey. And when people are trying to tell us to write all our goals and really start establishing too much of, you know, this commitment to you on paper, it's overwhelming because we've never done that. We've never had to do that in our entire lives. You know, we've just had this conformist sort of way about us, and we just followed the leader. The leader was the teacher, the church, the boss, whoever. So now when you start hugging the world a better way and you want to be in business for yourself, it's a bit of an eye-opener, and you get a bit scary. It's a bit scary. So I think the most important thing that we've got to do is we've got to show them the basics in a form that's understandable. So this is the 9 steps to Emerald. And when you look at this sheet now, and for those of you that haven't downloaded the newest version, and again, when I came out with this 3 weeks or a month ago, I honestly said it was a work in progress. I shared with you that this will change. This will get more to it as we learn functionally what it needed. And so today it got one more piece, which I'm going to share with you, but I've changed the order as well. So when you go to the files section, the team gets the result and you print it off, we've got, this is your first page now when you turn. And so we talk about the why, but we talk about it in general statements to understand the why, because if you can understand the why more so than just say, what's your why, you'll be able to make emotional connection. For those of you on the call here that are needing to make that emotional connection with your original sponsor, maybe your sponsors quit. That's fine. Make an emotional connection with me tonight. Make an emotional connection with Leah tonight or whoever else is on this call that's willing to take this and really go for it. Now, don't get me wrong. We can overtrain each other. We can go through these evenings where we're doing this too much. But this is the early stages of our relaunch of our business. This is the groundwork of us kicking off our training wheels. Valentis has done that now. They're kicking off its training wheels. I mean, there's a program about to be released that will shock you in the next couple of days. If he does what he said and comes out on schedule, all of you are going to have your eyes opened up. Dave Jordan's been working on. I promise you. I promise you. The training wheels are coming off. And you guys that have stuck it out and are here are going to be rewarded. And you should be rewarded. So we need to understand the emotional connection to what the why is. The third thing is, of course, to really look at the investment. Look at your investment of a legacy qualified Ruby and understanding that. So the basics we want you to look at when you start in your business with us is that we are in business with you. And we are not transactional salespeople. So if if you listen to Saturday's training call about being the Pied Piper, the Pied Piper was a transactional salesperson. It was like, get me a business builder, make $200, good luck, see ya. Oh, why do you mean you quit? Well, because you never showed them why they were here. So it's so important for us to get this concept of their investment back. Now, it might not be as simple as 4 business builders, but it is as simple as 4 business builders when you do the math. It could be 10 customers, that they get their $60 or $40 plus whatever, one person that buys a builder pack, whatever that means to get your investment back. You've got to make the commitment to the person that you sponsor that you're in business with them. And you want to show them what that commitment is, because we want you to have a leg. There's my dog. See, I told you she'd want to get out of the room. See, Coda, come back over here and sit down. Oh boy, she's just I love her to pieces. I really do. Hey, come here. Come on, say hello to everybody. Come here. Nope. Come here. Here she comes. There you go. You can say hello to Coda. Come on. Here. Say hello. All right. There you go. This is Coda. This is my girl. See, this business is a portable business, but it's also a home-based business. So your whole family can be involved at all times, right? So this is my family. Hey, sweetie. Okay. Now go lay down and don't bug me. Okay. So let's continue down the 9 steps here. If you highlight where I've highlighted the words, showing support duplicates results. You see, the connection to you having success here is you've got to help your new person have success, right? So what we need to do is we got to show them how to fill their brain with good information. We got to show them where to look for that good information. We've got to bring them along at their pace. And you've got to determine what their pace is by understanding what their why is, and which we'll do in the next page. I think number 7 is really important, folks. I really do. I think I'm building my business around the 5 C's. What I'm really doing is I'm trying to understand the people that I have on my team currently, the people that I'm bringing into my team this week, which I did, the people I'm going to bring into my team on the next week, because I've got 6 new people on my list, because I've started to go back into recruitment mode now, and I'm finding it very easy because I filled my bucket over the last 2 years. I really know how to help people more. So what I'm trying to say to you is those 5 C's, let's talk about them for a second. Who do you know in your life that you respect the heck out of? Because when they say something, they do it. They have conviction. Who do you know that has a relationship with somebody else that you absolutely love? Their chemistry with their kids, their chemistry with as teachers and their students, their wife, their husband, their family, their chemistry. You're looking for somebody that's got character that you want to call your friend. Who are those people? Who do you know in your world that when they say it, they make a commitment and they've got the courage to follow through? That's the 5 C's. Those people are there. Those are the people that, honestly, were on your list. I had somebody tonight get on a call with me after our opportunity webinar, and she said something. I can almost actually, there's somebody on the call who would know who this person was and be surprised that they were texting me to ask me more questions. So that was good news, by the way. But what I want you to say here is she said something like, well, maybe I have an amazing connection with people all the time, but I almost feel bad to suggest network marketing to them as a business. Okay. I said, and then she said, maybe I underestimate people. So my comeback to her was, well, I'm glad someone did underestimate me. Think about that. She says, wow, I bet you are. And I bet they are too. It was a bit of a light bulb. Never prejudge anyone in your life. I mean, I had already made millions of dollars, so what would I be interested in network marketing for? Nobody knew my why. Nobody really knows, when you look at people, what's going to be their reason. But what they knew, the person that approached me, was that I had good chemistry, conviction, character, commitment, and courage. And that when I got my head around the 5 C's recently in the last 6 months when I put together a training around this, I really now understand that's how we help people, is look for those 5 things. Now, granted, there are going to be people that join your business Listen, Brett Griffin was driving down the road, went to a gas station. Somebody was pitching him on some waterless cleaner for his car. And he watched them out in the cold, and they're talking to everybody. And he walked in the gas station, came back out, walked back in, walked back out, and handed them a Prosper magazine. He told me this just about 2 hours ago, and said to them, listen, do you really want to do this all your life, or would you like some residual income? They go, that's what I'm looking for. And nobody, this is a person that was talking to everybody because that's what they were doing. They were selling. But Brett talked to them about residual income. You just don't know, right? But that person was pretty committed to stand out in the cold trying to get you to buy a waterless cleaner for your car. Honestly, it doesn't have to be a millionaire. It's just that chemistry and conviction that you find in people. They're out there and they're on your list, and you've talked to them or you haven't. Or you're going to go re-talk to them because they're waiting for you to show them that you're still here. You have to understand something. People expected you to fail. That's why they never joined you. People fully understood that you're in business, but it wasn't for them. And I always say no doesn't mean never. And the never part of it is, okay, before I have my dog jump through the glass, I got to let her out of the room now. You little bum. Okay, out you go. Jeez, you're frustrating. People, they're kids. They really are. And she'd be what? Right now, she'd be about 10. She'd be like Brett and Andrea Griffin's daughter, Taylor, right? Hey, Andrea, does that make sense? Anyways, the people that are on your past list, they expect you to fail. So when you go back to them now with a recommitment, an opportunity to show them more tools, a platform to run on, they label to engage. I've seen it already. I had somebody that I was talking to for 1.5 years that joined me this week. The basic skills, number 8, are what we're working with. This is basically right there. These 9 steps are all you want to share with your early people to get them to understand the basics of what our business is, okay? So when you get them through the fact that all we're really doing is acquiring customers, building a team, and getting people involved in a positive culture, that's what number 8 is telling you. Once you get them into that scenario of that number 8, it's not that overwhelming. It really isn't. I mean, we're not talking about going out and selling 100 boxes of coffee. No, we're talking about acquiring some customers, acquiring the ability to bring a team on that we can work together and have some fun and get in a positive environment. And I don't mind telling you guys are all my friends now, and we have thousands of friends around the world. And when you go to an event and you see these people that you communicate with, it's family. It's just overwhelmingly exciting. And I know you all feel the same way. Leah, would you agree with that statement? You had people when you went through your accident there go all across BC to come and just be with you, right? It means a lot to people to really understand that you have a caring group here and a culture. We don't get that in normal jobs, folks. We go to work, we go home, we barely even know who we work with. That's the reality. So as overwhelming as that statement can be, you need to get to the point where you can connect to somebody on this page right here. And I honestly believe this is the key of our whole planning session. Not the why, not what is your why. That means nothing. As I've said in other trainings like this or conversations like this, is you could turn the page of a newspaper ad and miss the complete message of the ad because you just turned the page. This page is what I'm asking you to do. When you print off your planning session and you commit to give them a Prosper magazine and this, and you don't just leave it there, you get to this page after you go through the 9 steps, and now we're going to have an emotional connection. So I'm going to call in a couple of you randomly, and we're going to show you how to do a planning session around this page. And you don't know who you're going to be, and right now you're all squirming in your seats, but I'm going to call on Gloria Murray first. Gloria Murray, you're can take yourself off mute for me. So Gloria,
hi, Ron, I'm here.
Yeah, thanks for being a volunteer unexpectedly. So we haven't done this, you and I, together, but I know who you are and I know the quality of person you are, and you've taught me a lot in this last while. But let's forget all of the teaching we've done and let's connect this second. And let's understand these 3 questions here. Why I need more time, this is you. Why you need more money, this is you. And why you need better health. What is it about those 3 things? Which one of them in particular stands out as the most important thing that you want in one of those things right now? What would you say if you, what is it? What would it be?
Well, first and foremost, I think is better health, because if you have your health, the rest will follow. Like, then you have your health to make the money, and you can utilize your time better. So for me, and being that I'm in my early 60s now, better health is number one, first and foremost. And then, of course, the money would be next. And, I have the free time to make the money.
Okay. Well, so let's dig in there a little closer. Let's dig in there a little bit more. So when you say better health, and do you have grandkids that you'd like to spend more time with?
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
yeah.
So I remember hearing Faye on our Saturday call, and by the way, Faye, I just a hug out to you from everybody who listened to the Saturday call, or actually the Sunday morning call. You shared emotionally how you want to spend more time with your grandkids, and that the financial ability to do that and the time freedom, not having to go to work, would be that reason. So, Gloria, would there be any thought of just having that health to see them go and graduate and eventually get married and all those things? Are you starting to think that way a little bit?
Well, absolutely. To have the better health to be able to enjoy your family and your grandkids, for sure. That's the most important thing in my life, is my family. And you want to be there for them. We see your grandkids get married and graduate, and all those special moments. You just want to be there, because after you get empty nest, it starts to get a little lonely, and then the grandkids come along, and that's what makes up the best part of your life after that.
So when you
absolutely, that's a big why for me.
When you describe empty nesting and having the time now, obviously, so you don't have a normal day-to-day 9-to-5 job then, right?
No, I don't.
No. Okay.
Valentis is my job.
Okay, but it's not a job that you don't like going to work to.
No.
Right.
No, absolutely not. It's.
So do you feel that
my own hours?
Do you feel that this journey has helped your health and given you some life back to be able to live longer for your grandkids?
Oh, absolutely. That's the first thing it did, was gave me a better quality of life. So I could all of a sudden do the things with my grandkids that I couldn't do. I was taking steps like a baby, one step at a time, hanging onto the railing. And, the kids were quite concerned about me too. They'd bought me a treadmill for Christmas just a couple years prior. And, Mom, we want you to be around as long as you can. We want to help you in that direction. So, when Debbie made that call that day and asked me, Mom, would you drink a weight loss coffee? If you could lose weight by drinking a coffee, would you be interested? And I said, I'm in. So, the rest is history. The first thing I noticed was how it helped my health. And if I would have lost weight at the time, that would have been a bonus. But, it did both for me. The weight came off and the health.
So let's talk about the money a little bit right now. So what would the extra money now do for you? Is it why you need more money? What will the extra money do for you as you have a diamond aspiration and you're competitive and you're a goal setter and you really go for it and you're a student of the business? But talk about the money. What would that do for you? What kinds of things would you do if you had that why you need more money? What would you do?
Well, the first thing, I guess, is, you want to, you're more comfortable in life and you can travel more. That's of course one of the big things in our life. We like to travel and helping others. It's huge. I love to be able to help others.
So you're obviously a giver. I know you're a person and you're out there a lot helping people, volunteering and things that you love in life. But, money isn't everything, but it's like Jim Rohn said. It's like you need it, right? You do need it. And having that extra money and cash flow will help you continue to consume our products for the better health, and having the more time on your hand will allow you then to travel. The money, it's all connected, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely it is. And the good part about it was I never thought I could quit my part-time job. I was working in the health industry, working with handicapped children, and I never thought, I worked part-time, that in 6 months down the road, Valentis would be replacing my income with that. So feeling as good as I did, and I'd left my job and decided to do this full time and commit as much time to it as I could. So when you talk about money, you know, I always say to my kids, this is the best job I could ever have. I'm at home. I get paid to talk to people. And that's what, I mean, how much easier could you have it? You're talking to people. Who gets paid to talk to people?
Right. So what I'm doing, everybody, as I'm working with Gloria here, is I'm noting down the key nuggets that make sense to our connection. I'm just looking for the connection emotionally that we can go back at whenever she has a down day or down week. When she comes back to me and says something along the lines of, man, I'm just struggling here. Not only am I going to go to the daily method of operation sheets and look at what she's doing from a points collection standpoint, which we're going to talk about on the next part of our training, but I'm really going to go back to reminding her of the grandkids and reminding her of her health and spending more time with them as they get older. She wants to be there to enjoy them, and how, you know, the Valentis did help her get back and get more active, and how, you know, the things that she has now are allowing her to dream again, and that extra little bit of money she can start giving to charity and working on the things that she just wants to be able to do. I'm going to remind her of that because we made a connection, as opposed to just saying, what's your why? And I believe this is the key, everyone, is this page. And Gloria, does it make sense to you, this ability to connect? And even though you're doing it publicly, are you good with able to do this with your team now, you think?
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I have an appointment tomorrow with someone that's on this call right now on the Zoom to go over his why. And, you know, it just makes it so clear. I mean, to write everything down and yeah, you can go back to it. I mean, you're holding them accountable, really.
Yeah.
You know, if they're all in and want to make some money and want to do this, and
sure,
then your why is so important.
Well, great. Well, thanks for sharing. You can just mute yourself. That's awesome. So, Leah, are you able to come on off mute and we can have a little conversation? There you are.
I'm here.
Yeah. So we won't dig as deep as we have to, but Leah, you know, you're just a big part of my life, and you're probably the reason that I'm so attached to Valentis as a family, because you let me into your family. And when I stayed at your home and your kids wrote the notes on the pillows and said, Mr. Carson, thank you for coming to our home and we love Valentis, all of those things were a real connection for me. And so my emotional connection to you is your family, and you being on the road and traveling and really understanding the time you want to spend with your kids. I missed that with my son when he was young. I was traveling so much. I missed so much of his upbringing that now he works for me, and we went for lunch today and we were at the lake, the two of us. We're spending that time together. So, you know, as much as you want to open up about why you need more time, why you need more money, and why you need better health, could you just share a little bit on, you know, what these why points mean to you, and how you could take this sheet and work with your team a little differently than you've done in the past?
I would love to, Don.
Great.
So I messaged Don and said, don't you dare pick on me tonight. He did it anyway. Brat. Well, the truth of the matter is that Chris and I have 5 children, and with our oldest ones, we missed that as well. And our oldest son is 19. He's already living on his own. And so he's moved out, and we don't have the same opportunity with him that we do with the younger ones. Our oldest daughter is in grade 12 this year. She's graduating. So Chris and I are realizing very quickly just how fast they grow up and they're gone. And the last 6 years, Chris has spent in oil. So he's gone quite often. And with him being gone, it's not just a typical camp rotation. He doesn't rotate in or out for 2 weeks in, 1 week out, etc. When he's gone, he's gone from when they start drilling, and he comes home when they're done. And so the longest stretch we went without him was 3 months. It's an average of 5 weeks, I would say, depending on which job he's on. And when you're raising little ones and your husband's gone for, 5-6 weeks at a time, home for 2 weeks, maybe 3 days, gone again for 3 months. That's what we did for 6 years. We spent many Christmases with him arriving Christmas morning, like Santa Claus brought him home. We actually one year even had him standing in our carport, and I told the kids to go outside and find their gift, and it was Dad standing there on Christmas morning. So Chris and I swore to each other and to our children. We sat down, we had a family meeting, and we swore to our kids that we were going to find a better way. So For us, that's network marketing. We have tried. We've been self-employed. We've owned businesses. We've worked for the man. We've done it all, and there is no other way that will work like this industry will work. So for us, network marketing is going to allow us more time because it's going to leverage our time. And because we can leverage our time, we will get a better bang for our buck, and we're going to make up for lost time. And I think this is the only industry that allows you to make time. And so when I talk to the people on our team, for me, time is leveraging, and it's about figuring out how to compress your time and get the most that you can out of it. For money, again, why would my husband be gone for 5 weeks at a time or 3 months at a time? Because there's no other job that we found that will support 7-member family like the oil industry will. Again, not consistent. We all saw what happened to the oil industry last year. You voted in a new government and suddenly your paycheck's gone. So, you know, consistency is a big thing for us. We're tired of feast and famine. Chris and I have been at the top of the mountain and we've been at the bottom of the valley. And we're tired of being subjected to other people controlling our finances. We're tired of a new rule or a new law comes in and suddenly there goes half your paycheck. And I mean, we've been in a position where we got a letter probably, I don't know, 2007, I think. We got a letter arrived in the mail and with no notice whatsoever, we had 7 days, our company was gone. Everything had shifted, the laws had changed, it was gone. There was just no notice. So we scrambled back from that. We did what we did. We rebuilt, we came up with new businesses and, you know, again, we're subjected to everything else, our surroundings. So we want stability. That's my money. I want stability. I want my husband home. I want him to never have to stress again about how long he's going to have to be gone from his family, what the price of oil is. I want him to just be able to fall asleep at night with his head on the pillow resting because he truly knows everything's taken care of. That is my why with money. I don't care about the amount. And I think that's kind of important for people. I've learned with our team, you bring people in and I saw a statistic once and it said 80% of the people on your team are going to be very happy making $500 a month. Yeah. And when you bring people on board and you've only got your 80 percenters making that $500 a month, we have to look at that like a victory. And I think with these Y sheets, we can get caught up with too many zeros being attached to the end and realize that there's only 5% out of that 5%, only 1% are truly going to actually aim to make more than $25,000 a month in network marketing. And those numbers taught me something because when you sit down with this sheet and you say, why I need more time, or on my screen it says, why I need more money, why I need better health. And if you sit down and you share yours with somebody else and you've got, I want $5 million a month slapped across there and I got to make that in 12 months and blah, 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 you're going to freak people out because, you know, I think Dawn's on the right track here. We need to be realistic about this. We need to break it down to attainable expectations. Like I said, 80% of people on your team, it's $500 a month makes a bill payment, right? And that stress is on. So,
well, that kind of is a great planning session. And what you shared there, we had heart to hearts with in the past. But you know, for everybody else on this call, your team included, that are chimed in here, it's important to recognize this basic step is a step that many of us missed. We missed the emotional connection. I already had the emotional connection with you and Chris because, you know, you let me into your home and I understood exactly what you said. But for others, for you to share that way you did, others can now realize that there's so much more to Leah, right? Than this beautiful, well-spoken, well-read person that's out there inspiring her kids to see the world. You actually have the ability now to share with everybody. And to me, having your husband next to you on the pillow and not having to be gone for 3 months at a time and the stability of not having to go up and down like yo-yos is so important to you. That's the emotional thing that's very similar to what Nancy and I went through in the boating accident, you know, and that's the connection. So you and I will 6 months from now get back and talk to each other and say, Leah, man, think back. You know, Chris is back on the road. We got to put a little bit more effort into our DMO here to really make this happen. So that's why this page is so important when you're sitting with your new person. Okay, everybody agree? Y'all good with that? Don't turn this page. I'm telling you, it will give you the fruit. It really will. If you spend the quality time with your new person to show them that you care and you share who you are while they're sharing who they are. It's not all about them. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be able to let others know your weaknesses. You've got to be able to say, like I said on a call the other day, I said, man, I wasn't saying thank you enough. My wife was reminding me of that. I got to thank people for the little things they do for me. All of those little things that we're bad at, we've got to admit. And in this little exercise, you need to do that, okay? So that's our last testimonial that we're going to use. Thanks, Leah. Thanks, Gloria, for jumping in there. I hope it helped everybody. Obviously, the next pages of our document are really similar to everything you've seen in the past. We've just kind of picked out some key groups, the max effect. We can add to this as the new groups come on. Add to your sheet. Make sure that people know where their support and training is going to come from. Don't assume they're going to open a page in a computer. Walk them through it. Show them the community they're involved with, and let them know right then and there. Become a Facebook friend with them. Get them involved. Send a request to some of these groups on their behalf. Don't assume they will, because they won't. This page is about you connecting them up to the mentoring that's out there, okay? So find that in there, what means the most to you, and understand that we do have a system and you can plug people into it. In terms of a checklist, these are the steps you're going to work with. You're going to help them place their first order in terms of setting up their loyalty. Help them understand the basics of a 50 BV order versus a 100 BV order, and what the difference is in terms of keeping rank and losing rank. I mean, it's important for you to stress that they can keep the volume that's accumulated, and if they want to keep rank, it's a 3-box order. That's why I'm very adamant when I share with people, I'm looking for a 1-year commitment. If you want me personally to sponsor you, I need you to give me a year from this point on. I'm going to give you a year. You're going to give me a year. I'm going to work on the 9 steps to get you to Emerald. I'm going to help you get your investment back. We're going to commit to a process together. Can you do that for me? Yes. Well, then we need to hook you up on a 3-box loyalty minimum so that you can hit Emerald within 6 months or 3 months if you want to go to 6 boxes. Here's why, and I explain that to them. I show them where they order business cards, because if they're in business with me, they're here for a year, they're going to order business cards with me. I'm going to show them how to do that. I mean, listen, don't sponsor people and go to the bridge and tell them to jump off and wish that they made it. That's not going to work. This is a business about you committing to helping them, and you need to help them show them where they get business cards. I don't want to hear anybody come back to me in 2 months and say, oh, by the way, where do I go to buy business cards? Show them on this planning checklist how they get their business cards. Walk them through it. Those are the baby steps. That's the sippy cup. That's the soother. That's the bottle. That's what you're giving them on this page. You're not giving them a fire hose. You're giving them the basics, okay? So that they understand what it is that we do, okay? Make sure they understand what the rotator is. Make sure that they understand that this planning session that you're doing now, they're going to learn how to duplicate after they go through a tell, show, try, do method, which is to go through it with you. Do not cut the cord when you sponsor them. You're connected to them until you know they can do it. And that's why the next page is so important. By the way, are you guys seeing this box on the screen, or is it just on my screen? No? Okay. This page is really the basic philosophy of our business, right? 3 to the tree. My first 3 on my team tree. So if you're on the left leg, of course, you're going to have a 1, 2, 3 to the left. If you're on the right leg, it's going to be 1, 2, 3 to the right. Folks, this isn't customers. It's IRs. Your customers, you can put your customers on your other leg if you want, as far as I'm concerned. You could do that. You need to bring 3 members into your team leg. And here's why. In order for you to truly turn this into residual income, you're going to need personal volume on both legs. When you do turn your rotator to the number 4 person, that's all you know. That's all your effort. So what I teach now is I will not let you turn your rotator until I know you can do it. So beside the number 1 on this document, you should be right with them writing the word try beside the number 1. You're going to let them try. You're going to show, tell, show, try. You're going to tell them what they're going to do with the first person. So you write the word tell beside the number 1, and you're telling them as they're making their list, and you're telling the person at the other end of the line what we're doing here. You're teaching them through the method of doing a 3-way call, but the number 1 person, you're telling that person everything. Your prospect is listening. Your new member is listening. Then you're going to let them. You're going to show them with the next one, and they're going to input a little bit. The whole method of doing a connect call and the concept is showing them number 2. You're going to let them try it in number 3. Honestly, if they can try it and get it done, then they're on their way to sending the rotator to the other side. But if they try it and they fail, you don't turn the rotator. You go back to the show session. You show them again. and they sponsor another person down their left. Listen, when you are working with them and you're not letting them go, you haven't cut the cord, they're more apt to do it because they have some help. They have the support. It's scary to go talk to people. But if you're there to help them along the way with your upline or just with you, they will do more with their list. So this method of writing that down shows them what you're going to do with them. You're going to tell them, you're going to show them, they're going to try it. And if they get this with you seen that they can do it, okay, we're going to turn our rotator and you're going to do it. And now you're going to duplicate, starting with number 4, the tell, show, try, do down the right side. And they're not going to let their person go until they know they can do it. And then they'll turn the rotator. This diagram right there is 2,000 BV if they're all business builders. It's a pod. It's a 2,000 BV pod. So when you start thinking about getting to Emerald, and if you want to be a structured Emerald, the important thing is that this is a legacy for your kids. So if you don't teach and duplicate, if I go back to the page right here at the beginning, it says show support duplicates results. By you showing support with the tell, show, try, by you committing to not let them go until they get their investment back, you're going to duplicate results because they're going to do the same thing. But I will promise you that I failed many of those of you on the call or many of the people that have quit in my business because I never duplicated results. I was good at getting the credit card. Give me a credit card. Join me. I'm a millionaire. Hey, let's go. No, that doesn't work. What works is the support that you show them. So when you think about every one of those highlighted points on this page, can you write your own song with me right now? Those are the lyrics. You need to look at every one of those 9 things, and all of those highlighted bold black letters there are the ones I need you to understand and be able to repeat. I need you to go back, know the why, know how to help people get their investment back, understand what a legacy qualified Ruby is, get to figure out what this Emerald thing is and how you get there. Learn it, understand it, show the support by duplicating results. What does that mean to you? Well, tell, show, try, do. We know that now. What is it about filling your brain that can fill your pocket? What is it about the Valentis producers that we should plug into? Show them where the calls are. Let them know. Bring them to the call. Understanding the 5 C's. Understanding the basics of our business. This is the lyrics in your song. I never heard the music. I just heard this. I heard the melody. I heard the ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. That's what I would hear. I would never hear the words. But now I'm listening to the words. Nancy's really worked on me to listen to the words, right? And that's what this page is. This is the song. Okay? Go on this page, everyone, and get the song and teach this. Because if you show the support, you will duplicate results. So when you go back to this page now, the whole method of writing down tell, show, try, and eventually they can do it, if you've gone through the 9 steps and understand what these are, it will get their investment back. You'll be duplicating yourself, and you'll absolutely have a business that's residual, and you'll be bringing in more customers, more team members. They'll be in a positive environment because they've got support. This page and the page number 1 are connected, okay? So use this to really understand what we mean by you monitoring their activity, you understanding that the system works if you show them how to do this, okay? So the checklist sheet really is very similar to what we've done before. I've taken a little bit out of it, but what I want you to understand is you've got to show them how to make get their payments. You've got to help them set up their payment options. You don't want them to come back in 2-3 weeks and say, hey, I didn't get paid. Oh, did you set up your Payoneer or your Paylution? Oh, no, show them this. All the main page here, they can highlight the compensation plan on their own. You can go through these points with them, is that check mark. Get it done with them, okay? Okay, so now the most important part, the fun stuff, the daily method of operation. The thing that many of you on this call aren't even doing yet, but there's some of you on this call that are just knocking it out of the park. And on Wednesday night, on our Getting Started training call, I've got Lorena that's committed to talking about her point collection. Blair and Faye are going to talk about their point collection and which ones they're keying in on. And I'll have one more. We're going to actually go through their checklist and my checklist. And so this diagram, if you haven't heard me say this before, is my partners. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 4 canoes to travel the world with. My lake scene, the beauty of what you see there is the journey. Some would say I only have 4 lakefront pieces of property. I'm looking for 4 diamonds to take those pieces of real estate, which are worth the biggest value. I'm looking at these 4 canoes, and I'm looking for those people that want to be in there with me. Lee and Chris Pickett, you've got a canoe. It's yours. let's just go make it happen, right? You throw an ore out, I'm going to pick it up and put it back in because I know your why now. I'm not going to let you forget it. I'm not going to let you forget that we need to bring Chris home. We need to make this happen for lots of reasons. It is not about weight loss. It is not about the journey of the company changing a formula. It has nothing to do with that. It's about the vision of a wellness journey and you creating a lifestyle for your family and a legacy around all of us finding dreamers that want to connect to an incredible company and a vision. Having hope. It's the hope is our product, guys. Hope is our most important product that we offer people. So if you look at those 4 canoes, who do you hope are in there? I promise you it's 5 people that have 5 of your C's. That's what you're looking for, okay? 5 C's, which we'll talk about again. So there is the point collection system. This is what we use as what you get for points, right? Each of these numbers from 1 to 14, and notice the next page has the 1 to 14 from the left to the right now. This was an add-on today. Because when you are talking with your new person, you're gonna say to them, well, take a look at number 10, bring on a new customer, and then go back over number 10, bring in a new customer. Customers are the lifeblood of our business. Consumption of our products drives the company and all the rewards available. Okay, so we give you a summary of what number 10 is here in explanation and how many points you get. Now, the first one, which is number 1, Curiosity Facebook post a handout of a sample worth a point. For every point, you're guaranteed to get 3 points. For every sample you hand out. Why? Because number 14 is number 13 is follow up with all your prospects, members, and customers. So you get 2 points for a follow-up call. How'd you like the sample? So that if you had a sample, it's worth 3. If you're not getting 3 points for every sample out, you're not following a daily method of operation. You're missing the boat. So every sample is worth 3 points. So when I hear somebody say they had 52 points, which we'll talk about on Wednesday, I know they handed out a lot of samples, and I know they've been following up all the time. And you'll also notice that number 13, we've added something. We say follow up with all prospects, members, and customers. You should be calling your customers and saying, hey, how are you enjoying the products? Well, what's going on? Oh, you're not trying this? Well, why don't you try that? There's 2 points, just the follow-up. And all you're doing on this page, you guys, is putting the number 2, the number 2, the number 2, if you're in number 13. You don't have to put the person's name down. I've added a sheet for that now. I don't want you to do anything other than put numbers, honest numbers of what you're doing. A 1, a 1, a 1 in section 1, right? Hey, I did a connect call with Don Carson or Nancy Carson or Ted Wilson or Peggy DeSalle. There's 3 points. I did a connect call, right? There you go. Perfect, honestly. What if you're the one doing the connect call? You're the leader. You get 3 points for that too. You get 3 points for doing the call and asking somebody to be on the call with you, and you get 3 points for being on the other end of the call and being the expert, okay? So this section, this accumulation of data, and Chris Pickett would love this, will allow you to chart what day of the week is your best, most productive day, which column out of the 14 is your most productive point getter. Maybe you're not good at doing live branding Zooms or Facebook Lives. Maybe you just can't do that. Well, okay, that column might be empty, but you start wanting to be better at this business, we're going to come back to you and say, you know what, you got to get out of your comfort zone a little bit. You got to put yourself out there a little bit. Let's get you stepping out and being in there and letting your guard down. And yeah, you know what, the first time won't be that great, but people will appreciate your vulnerability and they will respect you and guaranteed they will follow you. People love real people. Remember, the guy on the left is the actor getting paid. The guy on the right is your friends that are sharing real results, right? So the most important part of this exercise is to be real. It really is. And you're getting points for just being real. So when you look at the 14 steps here, notice the last one on the right is for every product you consume every day, you get a point. So, I mean, my wife and I consume all of the products other than the canine. So, you know, but we give the dog the canine. So I guess we get, 8 products a day. We get 8 points a day. So we can accumulate amongst us as a couple 8 points each, or 7, whoever gave the dog the canine. The point is, up and down you can total, from left to right you can total, and when we visit you on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and you say you're struggling, you're going to show me this sheet. And here's the key. If you can't fill the sheet out, then how can I help you? If you can't accumulate this point system for you, how can I help you? If you can show me what you're failing on by this system, I have a chance to help you succeed. You see, we've added a page to this now, because here's what I was doing. I was going here and taking the points, and I was putting them here. And then I was going on this one. And I was saying, okay, here's my potential member. I've handed out a sample. I've wrote their name there. Here's their phone number and email. Great. I've given them a Prosper magazine on November the 11th. I wrote the date in here. But I have 3 steps to bringing a person in, right? Introduction, validation, and credibility. Those are the 3 things across the top, right? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 validation steps, 1 credibility step, and are they a customer or are they a member, right? This is what we're filling in here. But what I was finding is I couldn't date anything. I couldn't track anything. So this was the new sheet we did today. We now have a progress journal. So you now are able to take this point system. I have found a person to give a sample to. Okay, I got a 1. I'm adding that potential team member to this, and I'm adding it right here, and I want to bring them through this entire session of introduction, validation, credibility to see if I can get a customer or a member out of it. But when I go over here now, I'm actually going to start on those lines writing notes and dates and times that I've talked to them. And I'm going to put a little note saying on November the 13th, I handed them a sample. Next, I'm going to put a comma. Okay, November 15th, I'm going to follow up with them. I think it'll be about time they probably tried the sample. I'm going to put down 15th, I'll call them back. I'm writing it there. Okay, now they're ready to do a Zoom call with me. Okay, I go back to this person over here, and I say, great, I brought number 3, a person to an opportunity webinar. I'm going to give myself 5 points for that. I don't need to tell on this page what it is that I got the 5 points for. I'm going to tell myself on this page that I brought them to a Zoom call on November 11th. Then I'm going to move, comma, to the next stage, whatever it is. I'm going to chart each buddy's progress until eventually I'll get to the point where they say, you know what, it's not for me, I date it. I don't throw this sheet around, and this is my diary. A year from now, I'm going to be going back, and I'm going to look at the process that I did with this person, and I'm going to follow up with them again. Hey, I'm still here. I haven't gone anywhere. Having great success. Guess what? You know what? My wife and I, we just bought a new car and went on 2 vacations, and we're looking forward to helping more people do the same thing. How are you doing? What's going on? And then I used a form. How's your family? How's your occupation? How's your recreation? How's your money situation these days? Well, yeah, I just got laid off. Really? Well, great. Listen, I kept all my notes from when we talked a year ago. Let's revisit that. Have you got an open mind now to be able to see what we're doing? Whoop, I'm back on my progress journal, and I continue the journey. This is not thrown in the garbage. This is money. This right here, this is your business. Use it. Don't throw it away. It is your diary that you hide in your little end table that nobody finds, right? Because this is the good stuff. Eventually, you're going to be able to turn these into people that are going to buy your products. So I think if you really understand that all 3 of these pages now work synergistically together, your role is to get your entire team, to use those 3 sheets, right? So if you're using these 3 sheets, what does it mean to do an introduction, validation, and credibility? Well, take a look. Obviously, we've got Facebook groups. We've got Dado Talk presentations. We've got live seminars like we did at 8 o'clock tonight. We've got corporate calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. You're moving people through these steps. Now, I'm telling you, you don't have to do all of these steps to get a customer or a member. You'll just leapfrog from wherever it is. If you've done a video with them and they say, I'm in, this is great, boom. Go over there and date when they're a customer. Perfect. Move on to the next one. Meanwhile, you're journalizing what's happening here. And I would suggest that when you get a new member, you're going to put a little star or gold flag or something on your page so that when you keep these in a scrapbook, you'll have all of these pages that you'll have all of this history and you can eventually come back to. Now, I'd love for this to be computerized. I actually sat with Luciano today and said, we need to design an app to do this and make it automated. And I bet you we could sell it for $1 an app or whatever. And we both looked at each other and go, huh? Because I don't know how to do that. But listen, paper, pen to paper is really, really important. If you do the steps that I'm describing in these 3 pages, you can't fail. And your team can't fail. What were we doing wrong? I'll tell you what we were doing wrong. We were not doing this. None of us. Agreed? We weren't emotionally connecting where they were. We weren't giving them the basics to Emerald. We were giving them the fire hose. Right? Diamond, diamond, diamond. And they're saying, I don't even know how to be a Ruby. Right? Right? roadmap to Emerald, the basics. Here it is, 9 steps. We were not giving them all of the information in an easy form that they could take home right after our planning session. I can email them this. I can work with them on this. I can write the Tell, Show, Try. What does Tell, Show, Try do mean? I want to write right on here, folks, the form, right on this document. I'd like you to write it down, FORM, because I already tell you what it is right here. I'm telling you that the form is right in this document right here. Go down, number 6. Do a FaceTime on branding yourself. Key here is don't sell anything. Let people know who you are and what makes you tick. Something you say could get you a comment and, again, allow you to private message them with some form type questions. Okay? Form, family, occupation, recreation, money. You need to get them talking to you, get them opening up to you, and you can get those open-ended questions. Family, how is their occupation going? Their recreation and interests. Money seems to be plentiful for them, or they could use some more. I told you what it means in number 6. This is full of good stuff. There's scripting in here too. But these are the lyrics. You need to read them. You need to sing them. You need to understand them. This is not a, oh yeah, Don put some effort into this thing and there's a 4 over here and a 3 and a 2 and a 5. You know, good. Hey, guess what? 6 months from now, you'll be the same place you are right now. Good luck. I'll love you for it because you know what? You're part of the group and keep consuming the products, and that's awesome because we need lots of you as well as we need the people who want to be in my canoe. Isn't that rhyme? We need lots of you as well as all the people that want to be in my canoe, right? It's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. It's stupid, but it's fun. So, do you get it? That's what we're doing in a planning session. We're really trying to make it as basic as possible. We want them to use these 3 sheets. We want them to manipulate these sheets back and forth. We want them to keep the sheets on in a scrapbook. I physically have made myself 4 copies of this. Oh my goodness, quit touching that one button. 4 copies of this. I'm making myself 6 copies of this. I'm making myself 4 copies of this because this is Monday to Sunday. This is 1 week, right? So this is 1 week. You need a month already in your scrapbook, and then you're going to print 4 more off. And you're going to keep your scrapbooks. You're going to date them, and you're going to have fun with it. Now, if you can take your phone and get one of those scannable apps and snap, and store it on your computer and then throw it in the garbage, have at it. Do what you want. Get rid of the paper. But right now, I'm asking you to put pen to paper and allow me to help you and allow others to help you by just being able to go to a DMO and say, okay, guys, where are you at? What are you struggling with? Show me your DMO. I can help you then. Because here is the key to your DMO, right? All activity will drive productivity. And what you need to understand about your why, once again, at the very beginning, is if you understand the why, the how is easy. Those are the highlight points in your planning session. So that was, roughly 55 minutes. I think it's a fair training to get on. It's late in some areas of the country. Anybody got any questions? We can just share any comments you want to make. Come off mute and just chime in. Did I miss anything? Leah, did this kind of cover what you were hoping for?
Hey, I think it's excellent, Don. I'm one of those people where it's late. It's almost 12:30 for me now, so I really appreciate. I know you've been a long day here. I really appreciate you taking time to train us and reach out. I think for me, I don't know if I speak for anybody else out there, but for me, I find that my struggle came with working with a process similar to this for a few months, and then for me, it's that transitioning through. When you figured out your 3 to the tree, you figured out how to become a Ruby and then maintain your status for a few months, and you're starting to build. And I think that this is something that we need to use to check back in with our own team members.
Yes.
I know for me, I have a hard time. It's good when you get out of the gate and everybody's excited and they're calling you and you're on top of it and you're talking to them every few days. And then all of a sudden people start to get a little bit quiet and they kind of disappear. And so I can see how this tool would be very, very powerful 2-3 months down the road when you're calling them and you're saying, where'd you go on me? One of the things that Chris and I like to do is we like to start whenever we sit down with a piece of paper like this and we work with a new team member. The first question we like to ask is, are you coachable? Do I have permission to coach you? And if somebody says, yes, you have permission to coach me, then that's when you can sit down and have them fill out this paperwork. And then I ask, one of the questions on there that we write along the bottom is, how would you like us to coach you? And when people go quiet 2 or 3 months down the road and they stop answering the phone, they stop calling you, there's different people on our team that want different things. And some people need to be left alone for a few weeks. Some people want you knocking on their front door every 12 hours. Some people, you need you texting them every hour. Where'd you go? You've gone dark on me. Come back. So on the bottom of those 3 whys, write a little coaching tip that person gives you, where they tell you, I'm the kind of person who needs you to knock on my door. I need you to send me flowers, send me fruit, throw pebbles at my top window. And then, 3 months from now when they're quiet, you can pull that out and go, oh, they need constant, I got to get a hold of them. And you can kind of use that.
Wonderful. Great tip. Great idea. Anybody else want to throw in anything? Leah, Chris, if you want, or Leah, if you want to chime off, I know it's late. You're more than welcome to, of course, but anybody else want to just add one last thing, or we'll just stop the recording and stop the evening? Anything else?
Thanks for doing this, Don. I really, really appreciate it.
Well, Susan, Nancy and I are all in to help you, and we love when you call us, and it's just been a journey, and we're all learning together. We really are. I know you all understand that we're learning together. So, let's keep growing. Anybody else want to say anything? No?
I can tell you.
Lorena, go ahead.
I just want to say I really thank you for your last comment about putting it on a computer, because I had already done that. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I volunteered to do this on Wednesday and I have nothing on paper. So, mine on a computer.
Wonderful. That's awesome.
In saying that, I did sign up a Ruby this week, and I know he's older than me and he totally does everything on paper. So this is awesome. I'm going to have it all printed out to give to him when him and I get together to discuss it. So
wonderful. Now this has been recorded, so if you need to show somebody after, this will be a recorded training that we can actually duplicate and use. So,
Don?
Yes.
So are you suggesting we print it off and give it to all our rubies and go through their whys again and et cetera, et cetera?
If they're willing. So you have to have that conversation with them to see where they're at right now. And part of it would be, you know what, I brought you in this business. I was new. Even the people that were in this business with me, we're learning together. I've got some new tools I'd like to sit down and show you. I'm really excited. Something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a great evening, and we'll all talk to you soon.